Our speaker Alok is joining shortly, waiting to join audio. Just about the speaker, guys. Alok is been doing AI for a few years now. He's doing multiple implementation in artificial intelligence in multiple corporates. He's a consultant. He's also a trainer for all the AI modules, machine learning, RAG systems, and all the other AI courses. So he's an expert. Thank you so much for joining with us and giving your time for us, Alok, today.
Everyone, I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so good day. First of all, thank you all for joining this session. Today, we are going to look into AI agents. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. What are AI agents? Nowadays, if you read, there is a lot of noise, there is a lot of buzz about agents. We keep on hearing about Gen AI, we keep on hearing about data science. Same way, 2025 is going to be all about agents. Uh, there are a lot of companies doing a lot of things in this particular area, in this particular domain. And so, first of all, what are the AI agents? If you look at AI agents, uh, can I share my screen?
Yes, yes, sir, you can.
Okay, sure. Um, So when we look at these AI agents, like there are so many agents that you can see here. Okay, so many means there are so many agents we are having. Now, why do we require agent? Like, what is the use of agent? So the main idea of agent here is to use a language model which can solve end-to-end problem. Now, if you see, we have uh, LLM models and all good foundation models we are having. But if somebody is asking a question, what happens? It can respond to that. Let's say you want to set up a startup, or you are already having a business which is working in travel and tourism, and then you are raising some query here. Query you are raising, like you want to have an itinerary for traveling to Paris for next week or 4 5 days. It will give you that. It can create itinerary very well. If I ask, it may give me. So, but one of the problem that we are having, it cannot go and book a travel ticket for us. Like, let's look at this. I have a chat GPT here. I can go and ask it. So if I go and ask it, you know, prepare uh, travel. Okay, it is giving me, so it is giving some example. I'm going to click on that. So maybe for my next holiday. So you can see here, it is doing this. It is preparing a travel itinerary, which is very good. Like when you plan for 10-day travel, day one, you arrive in Rome, and then morning you can uh, at least you reach at the airport, you do check-in, afternoon go for some food, lunch, evening maybe dinner, and some places you can walk. Like that, we can see day two also it is given. Go to the ancient city, then maybe next day you go to another city, Vatican City, and then you can look around. So this is giving good. But now let's say I want to, okay, can you book a flight ticket? Can you book a flight ticket? Now what will happen if I ask the LLM to go and book a flight ticket? So now you can say it is giving me some response, but it cannot book a flight ticket. So what happens? We still require manual intervention here. We require somebody to go and do that task for us. Why? Because AI agent cannot do it right now. That is the sorry, LLMs cannot do it right now. So this is the problem. The companies, like whatever solution we are having, it is not end to end. So how do we solve this problem? So one of the ways, like if I get this, I have to go to manually, maybe Skyscanner, look at the flight and all, and then find out, and then manually have to book the ticket. So when you're trying to automate everything, you want everything end to end. So how do we go ahead with that? So AI agents are, you know, is where it is coming to help us here. So they are going to complete all the sequence of agents, which the large language model cannot do that. They will be having a reasoning engine to decide what action to take, in what order. Uh, so there will be multiple agents. There could be a multi agents that we are having. Okay. Uh, so what we can do? So here, when we are looking at these agents, so how do we agents help us? So these agents are going to complete all these tasks. Okay, I'll give you one example. Uh, think about it like you want to go to hospital. Okay, let's say you are having some problem. You make a call. So and then somebody pick up the phone. Then they will ask you that, okay, what is the problem? Why have you called? You may say, I want to consult a doctor. They will ask for the problem. Maybe you want to do a scanning, or you want to go for lab. You want to go for lab and then uh, do some sort of testing. So you don't need to consult a doctor right now. So what happens? That operator will look at lab appointment and give you the time that, okay, come at this time. Maybe you will go for scanning and all that. There is some finding, then there will be a consultation that will be booked for you. So like that, these agents are also there. Like these agents, they are going to be main. We are going to do different tasks based on what the user is doing. So for example, our travel agent that we are talking about, somebody will go and look at and then try to book a travel ticket. Someone will look at a hotel. So like that, you have to look into these agents. So uh, traditionally, what is happening? Traditionally, we have certain like agents here, which is working on certain environment. Okay, it is taking certain actions basis of whatever uh, requirement is there. So in the environment, okay, what happens? Based on certain triggers, the agent takes an actions based on memory, based on knowledge, based on capabilities and the goals. So the data might be coming from anywhere in the environment, like data is coming from sensor. So the traditional agent that we are having, more like we talk about, reinforcement learning agents that we are having, which is getting triggered in the environment based on certain actions. It is changing the state from one position to other, or maybe updating. For example, you want to automate uh, entire playing of chess game. Okay, so we can actually train an agent to learn, and then there have been many cases where AI models have been able to defeat the players. Okay, so these are our traditional agents, but the problem here is that traditional agents don't have access, like they don't have the capabilities of LLM, what GenAI model that we are having. So how do we actually, these agents that we are having, how do we make them more, give them more context? How do we bring these learning adaptation capabilities to these agents? At the same time, we also have seen that these GenAI models, they don't have the complete end-to-end. Uh, so these GenAI models, what they cannot do all the tasks complete end-to-end. If you know about RPA, RPA is about process automation, so we can do a lot of things there. Now, AI agent, if you see, this is going to do a lot of things like in NLU, NLP, in some sort of decision making, in reasoning, in natural language generation. There is a lot of things these agents can do. So they have got a lot of capabilities. So there are different types of agent which we are having. Okay, some would be a simple agents, okay, which can take a simple input. On basis of that, there will be some basic rule based like logic you can apply if and else. There could be a model based agent. Okay. Like we have all these different agents in our rooms, like vacuum cleaner, automated agent, which goes and do the mopping and all of the floor. Like that, there are many agents that we are having. So there is going to be a lot of agents that we would be having. Now these agents would be of different types. Like as you can see, one is embodied agents. What it does, it interacts with the physical world, looking into the sensory and the motion capabilities. We can have a multi-agent, like a lot of agents together working, trying to understand. We can have an autonomous agent, okay, which makes a decision on its own without any human interventions. We are an adaptive agent, which keeps on learning on the basis of situations that we are having. And we may have a reactive, which can think based on the situation, which can make its own decision. Like these are different types of agents. So these agents, if we can use with RAG, now one of the other problem that we have seen with these large language model is that they're not able to respond to the organization data set. Okay, the problem is that no organization will share their data to ChatGPT or any other thing, so they don't have access. So for that we have a RAG. So if you bring RAG, you can create a vector database of your of whatever data we are having. We can do embeddings and we can create a vector database of that. We can store it into a vector database, and that can help us to fetch, do some query, and get the response. Now, RAG also is having certain limitations. So what we can do, we can bring agents along with RAG. So something like agentic RAG we are talking about. Okay, that is one example that can solve a lot of problems. So I just gave a brief introduction about this. Let's look at one demo. So just give me 2 minutes. I'll start a demo, 1 minute, and then we'll continue.
Glad to set up the tools, guys. So it's putting that up.
Okay, sorry. I was just trying to fix it up. So,
Guys,
uh,
one
yeah,
other thing to clarify, sorry. If you have questions, you can always send directly to the trainer, or you can send it to me, then I'll ask the speaker to answer your questions, guys. Send it to me
yeah,
or to the speaker, please.
yeah. So here we'll look at a very simple agent that we have been building. So in this for this agent, we are going to install. Sorry, we are going to use OpenAI API key. So I'll just try to first install. Okay. So I'll just installing it.
You're muted, Alok.
So sorry, I got mute. So I'm just running this, all installing all the dependencies. So here we are going to use Llama Index. We can also use LangChain. Okay. So these are like frameworks for using agents. So there are different frameworks. You can either go with LangChain or you can go with Llama Index. So and then we are trying to install all the dependencies, and along with that, so okay, let it get downloaded. So this is done. I think it is we are able to install this. The next step is that once you have installed all the dependencies, like Llama Index is basically what it will do. It is providing the tool for building and managing the indexing. Uh, it will index our data, like whatever data that we are having. Then Llama Index AI will be Llama. Yeah, it is going to
Alok, your voice is breaking for some reason. Maybe bandwidth issue. You could probably go off camera and speak, maybe.
so network issue. Not should. Is it better now? Is my voice better now? Yeah. Okay. So, can you list of these dependencies? These are the like libraries that you have to install here. Okay, which will help us. And embedding is whatever data we are having. See, model cannot understand the data directly. That data have to be converted into a vector form in a form that model can understand. So, this embedding will help us with that. Now we need to install OpenAI. I think it is already there. So fine. Now we need the key. So what we have to do? We have to set up the OpenAI key here. Okay. You can set up the key. Uh, so I'll just set up the key here. Okay. Let me get the OpenAI key. So I'll go to ChatGPT Playground for this. I'm just going to OpenAI Playground. So I have to get the key from here. So we can using this key. Basically, this key will help us to connect the API, and we can use this API for uh, connecting our agent, and reasoning also. So you can say I'm just trying to create a new key here. So I'll say test two and create a secret key. So this is the key that we would be using here. When I run this, it is going to ask me a key, which I'm going to enter here. So this is the I have just fit the key here, which will help us to connect to the GPT model that is running in the backend. Okay, so you can see like if you want to check the model list, so we are just doing a query to check. So this is the model that we are having GPT-4 Omni. Okay, Whisper model for speech to text conversion. Like that, there are different models which we can use. Okay, 3.5 and all models are there. Okay. Then what we are doing next, we are trying to use here, okay, we are using here Llama Index Core, okay, storage. So what we are doing, we are trying to actually use this library for indexing purpose. And then we define a function. Here you can see we are defining a function. What this function will do, this will do a multiplication, like you can see. So if I set up this function, it will take input A and B, and then it is going to multiply that. So let's try it here. Let's run this and check. Okay. So this is fine. If I feed some data, it should be able to multiply that. Now the next thing is that we just saw this example here. And if you want to use that tool, you can use that. Next thing, what we are going to do, we are going to build this React agent. This React agent, as we have discussed, This is thinking, reasoning, and then giving a response, like whatever we are asking here. So we are going to bring this React agent. React is, it's designed to implement any of these tasks, like thinking and then reasoning and then giving a response here. So I'm just trying to use this agent. Now we can actually run this. Now see, we are running this, and then we'll give some query here. So we'll be giving some query, asking question to it. So you can select any model. I am selecting this model, GPT 3 Turbo. You can go with Omni model, and this is to check like whatever key that we have given here is working or not. Our API key is valid. It means that now we can connect to this model. Now we have a tool. This tool is what? Just now you created a tool which can do some sort of multiplication. Like here, it will take some A, B and do multiplication of this. Now, then we write the context. Now look at this context. Why are we doing this? So this is a stock market, scholar who is an expert in comparing the companies like. So he's comparing some companies like Lyft and Uber. Okay, so this is going to compare the companies and it is going to answer the question about both of them. And it may help any investor who is asking some query, some question here. And here you are using OpenAI model GPT-4. You are using React Agent with that tools. The tool that we are having, LLM model. Okay, so let's go and first run them. Let me try once again. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll check. So we'll now do some question here. Like I'm going to ask some question to this agent. Okay, I'm just giving an example how this is working. Now this agent which we are having will say, okay, what is 2 times 8? So we are asking a mathematical question to that. Let's go and run this. Now you can see the agent is started. It is going to think, reason. Okay, go to the large language model, look into that, and then respond to our query. Now you can see it is responded. 2 times 8 is what? It is 16. So this is a simple example. We just build one multiplication agent. Now, if you have more complex question, let's look at more complex function. Now, here I have a function. I have defined a function. This function will take the URL, okay, as an input, like any website URL that you are having. Let's say you want to get some data from any website. You want to parse some data from any website. So you bring any URL. This agent will extract all data from that website using the feature of the agents as well as the LLM. So this is what we are doing. Now we have this like example. We are having this website, Rotten Tomatoes, and then some movie if you want to extract. Let's go and fetch some data from this. So here what we are going to do, so we are actually defining the URL. This is a movie URL where you have a lot of reviews of the movies. So this function will fetch a data from there, movie reviews. Now there's a movie, Dark Knight. What we are going to do, we are going to get all the review of this movie. So let's go and get the review of this movie. Now further, we are extracting the data from this website about the movie Dark Knight. And in this, as you can see, this data, what we'll be doing. So we would be using one library called as a Beautiful Soup, which is a Python library. So it extracts all the data in a proper format. So the function takes the raw HTML format. This is the website, say Rotten Tomato. If you go, which is having a lot of movie reviews. So I'll just try to open it here, show you all. Okay. So this is having a lot of movie reviews. What we'll do, we'll fetch some data from these website, okay, for these movie, the Dark Knights, and then we'll see. So I'm running it here. Now it is going to connect to that website. So let's go and wrap this function. Okay. This function takes the movie name as an input and it will return whatever data is there on the page. Okay. So it is going to extract all the data. And further, what we'll do with these agent, we'll build a sentiment model. What will do? It will tell us what is the sentiment of that movie with respect to the users, whether they like that movie or not. Okay, so here we have given a context. For example, you are an assistant who is looking into the general sentiment about the movie given the critics. Look at that data, whatever data we are able to extract, and tell us about this. So let's go and give a context to this. Okay, now we'll ask a question here. Okay, what is the sentiment about the movie The Dark Knight? So let me go and run this. Now it is going to do all the activities. See, the agent had started, it is running, it is fetching all the data. This is all HTML format. So it is running, let it get completed. Okay, I think it was able to extract some data. Looks like there was some issue. Let me run the it once again here and check. Okay, I'll just check for this. So it is parsing some data, running. Okay, let's wait for this. So it should be able to fetch all data. I think there is some problem, request too large for this thing. Okay, looks like there is some token limit here. But what will happen ultimately? It is the data is too much here. So ultimately, it will extract the data from there, and it will actually it should give us a review of that movie, like what is the sentiment of that. So we can build this tool. Like this is a simple tool that I have shown you, fetching data from any website and giving us the output. Now, think about this use case. We all know that stock market is all dependent upon sentiment. So if you can build some tool like this, which can give you the sentiment of any stock price, maybe what would be the sentiment of this, or a sentiment about any product that is launched, a sentiment of election that is going on. Okay, who is going to win the election? What is the sentiment of people? What is the like we can look into so many things. We can build an application with respect to these agents that can help us to predict. Like sentiment is one example. There could be so many other example that we can look into. So this was a small demo just to help you all understand that uh, we have something called as agents which are capable of taking their own decisions, and further giving us better output in terms of question that we are asking, as well as trying to complete certain tasks which right now the LLMs are not able to complete. Okay, so I will be stopping here. If anybody is having any question, maybe we can take it now.
Yeah, look, I put a question in the chat for you. That's from one of the participants, John. Okay.
Okay. So I can see one question here. If we set up multiple tools, how does the agent knows? Good question. So it is like, see, we have one manager, okay, we who's controlling everything. So he will decide. For example, I gave you that. I gave you that response. I gave that example of hospital. There is an operator who is deciding what to do. So same way, whatever agents that we are having, there to be master there who is going to decide which agent to use. Again, that will also be using the LLM capability. So we write some conditions, we write some logic there, and we are trying to use that. Will you share that link in Google Colab? Maybe Sharad can comment on that. Maybe I not. So whether we can share the resource or not.
Resources, again, it's up to you because it's your resources, Alok. And if it's free, I'm fine totally. If as long as it's helping the people
Okay,
and
okay. No,
you're okay to share it. Yeah, yeah.
I'll share that in the chat. No problem. I'll put it. I'll share. You can go and play with this.
Maybe you can
This
send
is the
us and we can
example.
also send it over the email. I
Yeah,
have some
I
other questions in the chat. I can read it out for you.
yes.
Um, is ChatGPT API free to use?
No, it is not. We have to pay for it. Like you
Okay.
can buy some credit, $5 minimum. But this is not very costly. It all counted upon token. So, like example, I would say, if you have 100 words, that is 3/4. So you can put it like that, 3/4. That will be token. So 100 words will be 75 tokens, like that.
Okay. So the other question Miguel has is this Chat GPT? That's the
This is
question.
this is not Chat GPT. This is a GPT model. So if you look at Chat GPT, it's an interface. The model that we are running in the backend is a GPT model. So same thing Microsoft is also using. They have their uh, uh, they also build their application with Copilot. So Copilot is also using GPT model in the backend. So this is directly connecting with the GPT model. You can also use open source model like Llama model and all. You can build your own application irrespective of like what you want to do, whether you want to go with them or any other model.
Okay. Can you tell us top three tools for building agents?
Top three tools that we are having. So see again, it depends what are you doing, like whether you're trying to work on some financial documents, whether you're trying to work on maybe some retail data set. So it all depends upon what task you're doing. But there are so many tools. If you go to this Langchain page, there you will find there are many tools. I just gave you some example, but if you want to work on, you can work on Langchain. As I said you, then Vertex AI is also there. It is also having some tools. Then we have AutoGen. Like there are many actually you can find if you search on Google.
Maybe can you put three of them in the chat? Maybe something that you would suggest, Alok, for everyone.
Okay, I'll put it here in the chat.
Yeah, I was trying to get the spellings, but I was not.
No
Lang.
problem.
Yeah. And
Uh, what is the difference? Okay, somebody is asking about difference between each of them. And okay, I'll explain that.
yeah, maybe I missed it. The other things. Okay, let me come the other questions here. Where is this type of work being used in workplace? And
Everywhere.
can you
Yeah, everybody wants to automate. So when I say everybody wants to automate, you can think about it. There are many companies which are working on this. Next year, like 2025, is all about AI agents. You can see there is a lot of investment happening, a lot of work going on because Gen AI, whatever it is able to do, to a certain level, it is able to do. But we are looking for something beyond that. So it will be used everywhere, all the domains.
can you please
Can you tell us yeah, sir,
about
go ahead.
fine-tuning open source LIMS
Uh,
such as say,
if you look at open source LLM models, so you can use Llama models, which are open source from Meta, very good models. Fine tuning, see again, you should decide whether I should be fine tuning or should you can go with RAG. That is up to you. If you want to fine tune the model or if you want to go with RAG. So if you want to fine tune, so you have to take any model like Llama model you can take Mistral. There are open source model you can take. You can fine tune your model, but the cost is going to be high for that. Like if you use GPU like A100, it is costing around $3.5 per hour. Again, if you run it for 48 hours, you can calculate the cost. I'm just giving you about the GPU cost. There will be a hosting cost, inference cost, a lot of other things. So it's going to be costly.
why we need LangChain to connect build an agent?
It's a framework. Like without framework, agents would not be able to, how do you work on that? You need at least some framework to work. Like if I give you example, if I want to work in cloud, I would need a cloud service aggregator like AWS, Google Cloud Platform, Azure. Without them, how do I work in cloud? I need somebody. So even though you have an agent, you need, this framework to work for that. Okay, so some of the framework is like as we discussed, LangChain, Index, CrewAI, LangGraph. There are many, okay, which you can use.
Okay. Does
Yeah.
different LLM provide different responses for same type of prompt? I tried
Yes.
same prompt with ChatGPT. Go
Yes.
ahead, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens? Every
So
LLM model is trained on different types of data set. So what happens? If you even the same model also, if you change your input. You just add one more word, your output will change. You change the role, like you give a role of teacher, you give a role of student, output will change. So first of all, every model will give you different output because they have been trained on different data sets, different source of data set. The output will always be going to be different. And remember one thing, this is a probabilistic model. It predicts next step based on its understanding.
I heard
Model.
LangChain is not. Sorry, go ahead, Alok, please. You've completed the last question. I'm sorry to interrupt. Hey, Alok, are you with me?
Yeah, actually there is some issue with that. That is why people are saying that
Hmm.
I think some network issue. There was one question that I was looking about LangChain. So LangChain is having some problem, okay, in production. That is why we have these Llama index and all. But again, see, one of the major issues that everybody is facing about how do you productionize these kind of model. So there are many companies working on that. In place of LangChain, you can go with right now you can go with uh, Llama index, which is actually having. You can go with Crew AI, that is also very good. Okay, you can go with LangGraph. Again, it depends. So there are some problems with LangChain, and I hope so that in coming time it will be resolved.
The
Do you have
connection
the
between
script?
chat. Go ahead, please, Alok. If you have a question, go
Do you
ahead.
have the script for fine tuning model? Yeah, we do have a lot of things. I think Sharad can explain on that. We have an entire course on that, how to build these, how to train the model, how to use them. You can look into that, and all those resources are there. There is one question about the objective of this meeting. Maybe Sharad can speak on that. What is the objective of this meeting?
Well, if the objectives are not met, then you could probably drop off, right? So maybe the connection between GPT and the agent piece is the key you generate. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Okay. Can I integrate the agent with enterprise WhatsApp business or the social many via messenger?
Yes, you can do that. You can integrate with WhatsApp, with your teams and all, and you can build a solution which can respond to a lot of queries.
Awesome. I think we have answered multiple questions. If you have something you want to show another example,
I think
we can
at
dive in.
least one example is good, at least for
For
them.
now,
Others, we can have maybe more workshop there. We can bring some more use case for them
Mm,
to look into that. Yeah.
okay. Maybe I missed it since I started late, but how do you connect to get with agents? Okay, that's the code that we generate, correct? That's what you mentioned.
Yeah. Code is already shared. Sharad will share that with to everyone after this meeting. You will get it.
Yes. Have you taken this question? I heard the LangChain is not ready for production.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
this true? Can you give
We discuss this. Yeah.
what are the basic skills required to learn the agent building?
You should know basics of Python. That's it. If you don't know, I think you can. We are having planning something, some course on that. So you can do some boot camp on Python, and then you can build. So not much is required.
Awesome. What do you think is the biggest use case for the near future for AI agents? It's already being used in customer support sales, but what else?
It is going to be everywhere. Wherever you have people, it's all. Think about it. Service is one part of it, but I can see like banking industry, retail industry, pharmaceuticals, everywhere agents are going to play a very, very important role. There is a lot.
So every they're using ChatGPT right now, the next step would be using agents for that, I guess,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah. because agent will do end-to-end integration. That is not possible, right?
Correct. Correct. Uh, what do you think is the biggest use case for near future in AI? It's already being used. Sorry. Will it be used separate platform with AI agents or embedded within the softwares of the companies?
Everybody will like to like most of the organization would like to embed in their system. Nobody would like to use a separate platform unless they are doing some business. So it's going to be part of the platform where organizations are working.
Okay, awesome. Guys, I can unmute you if you guys have questions. I've been reading, but you can put in the chat if you still have questions. I can unmute you. What are the security issues from Elizabeth? Alok?
Yeah, I heard there's a question on security. So,
Correct.
see, one of the major problem that everybody is having is about security only. Data privacy and all these are big issues. So that is where I see more of open source model coming up like Llama and all in place of GPT models. But again, if they provide some sort of security, some data storage, data privacy, so they normally what uh, OpenAI is telling that they create some sort of virtual machine, different virtual machines, different environment for every organizations. But again, that is very risky. We don't know what is happening with the data in the backend. Previously, there have been cases where Apple asked employees not to use. Samsung's entire new product source code was leaked on Chat GPT. So they try to use their in-house models. So that is where I see open source model to be extensively used uh, on the client environments, like to build some solution.
I have used open source Llama 3.18b. I have formatted issues and responses is rephrased every time. My rack contains only one file. Is there any way to fix it?
Yeah, definitely. We would be having some sessions upcoming on AgileFever. So basis of RAG and all, how do we build these things? So maybe we can take it up at that time. We can see. I have built many solutions using RAG. Build a document summarizer. How do you go and chat with that document, which is working fine. So maybe we can discuss that in the coming sessions. If exactly I can we can know that what exactly is the problem, where it is trying to, unless you see the scripts and all, very difficult to right now it is like trying to understand what the issue might be.
Any other questions, folks? I think you got great number of questions today. I have a quick poll that I want to launch. Can you please answer that for us so we can help you in a better way? Can you please answer the poll, folks? That would be helpful to understand where we have to market to help more people. If you have any other questions, meanwhile, we're still open next 12 minutes, but only if we have questions, we'll continue. Otherwise, we will let your time back. I'm looking at the polls answers right now. If you guys want me to unmute you guys to ask questions, please feel free. Let me know. I can do that for you. We had some unwanted guests last time, so we had to take strict policy on unmuting and the chat, guys. Apologies for the inconvenience. We have 30 people on the call, 26. Okay, people are dropping. I think they got their answers. Okay, we have one more question from John. Does ChatGPT have a Teams plan that allows companies to use it without having their data trained on the LLM? Do you see companies implementing GenAI in their own site servers or using these proprietary models with contracts in place?
Right now, Microsoft is doing that. In fact, if you look at Teams and all, it is integrated GPT model there. Which they don't call it as a GPT model, uh, but they have their own model. Like they call it as a co-pilot. So if you go to co-pilot, it's nothing but same. So Microsoft is ultimately using it. Regarding that data privacy and all, as I said, you like if you look at Azure website and like what Microsoft is telling, they try to create a separate instance where enterprise data is isolated. It is not sent, to the very generic model for retraining on that. So there are many organizations who have a tie-up with Microsoft. They are using Azure platform, so they get access to all those things. So I have seen many organizations are getting access and using that. So it depends upon your organization's policy. If that uh, tie-up is there, they have that legal agreement, you can use that, no problem there. Make sure that you don't share any sensitive data there, even though there is some sort of tie-up, because that could be critical information. But then you can use it otherwise. But if your organization is not having a tie-up, then that could be a legal problem. So I would say not to use that at that place. So it's all there in Microsoft if it's a part of your organization. OpenAI is again trying a lot of things. Okay, they're also trying to do that. But uh, even other companies are doing the same thing.
So, thank you, John. Thank you, Alok. We'll take one last question if anyone has. If not, please send us the questions on our email or any place. We would love sessions on open source LLM with RAG.
Yeah, maybe next workshop, so that we can plan on RAG and building some solution. I can explain them how to use RAG and build some solution. Maybe next workshop we can plan for that.
Awesome. That
Yeah,
would really be helpful, Alok.
yeah.
Chital, we have taken that into consideration. We will do that as the next one. Thank you for the input. We would love to rewatch the follow along hands-on. Something is that easy way, Alok, on following hands-on while you teach in 1 hour? Is that something that's doable?
That would be difficult because 1 hour you would not be able to
Correct.
complete that. It's a challenge.
As with as much as we want to do that, I think it's very difficult in such a short time. We will, yeah. Or beyond the class for sure. Yes, yes. We will reach out and give you more information on beyond the class. We have classes that we do it, but in this free sessions, we won't be having such amount of time. But for sure, beyond the class, yes. Any other questions, folks? Okay. Alok, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate your answers, your time, every effort that you put to help us and the team here. Really appreciate, Alok. Thanks once again.
Thank you,
Thank
Sir.
you.
Thank you everyone for joining. Okay.
Thank
Good
you
day.
all for joining. Have a good
Yeah.
one. Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alok. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.